Matthew at Sports Weekly. Just you just wrapped up your rookie year here as a coach in the WNBA. Just where have you seen yourself grow the most as a coach this season, and where do you see yourself growing as we get to next season?
Oh, a lot of ways. This has made me better, coach. I think the thing that I had to learn while doing, and I'll be much better at it moving forward. Just how to teach and do film and all the things without having practice time. Right, that's an adjustment. I think we figured it out, but that was an adjustment. And I think the fun part about coaching pros is they have opinions, and you better be sure about what you're saying because they're going to have an opinion. So that's made me sharper and better, just being more sure of what we're doing and the why. But just like any other job, you get better as you go. I'm proud of what we did. It's not the ultimate goal of what we had, but the improvement, I'm proud of that. The way these guys battled all season and we went through adversity and they stuck together, and I'm proud of that. So I'm disappointed, but like I said before, I don't feel like this season was a failure at all.
Justin.
Yeah.
Raegan, I'm just kind of curious, how would you, hi. I kind of wonder how you would evaluate this season overall from where you guys started to tonight.
In total alignment with Lynne and what she, I think, has echoed all season, but definitely even today. This, I just shared this with the team. There's times when you plant and there's times when you harvest, and for sure, planting has occurred. And even I think there was, sprouting that occurred with this group. It's really easy to get caught up in a win-loss or playoffs or not playoffs and decide that success is binary. And that's not the case. There's so much success and growth and many, many things to be proud of. That's happened this season. We all know how the season started. But since July 4th, this team is the fourth best team in the league. The fourth best record in the league. And it's one thing to start off the front half of the season being one of the best teams in the league, but to garner the support and the buy-in amongst the storm at the beginning of the year that Lynne and her staff did is tremendous. And the players deserve a lot of credit for trusting her, trusting the system, giving up of themselves when it wasn't going their way early. The fact that happened, that we finished the season that way is really, really special. And that included a final stretch where we played 8 games in 14 days, and only 2 of those games were against non-playoff teams. To continue to be in the fight with that kind of adversity, and then be in a locker room where they're loving each other and hugging on each other and working through conflict, I think, again, is a total testament to the humans they are, the professionals they are, and the leadership that Lynne and her staff have provided.
John.
John W. Davis with the Southern California News Group. This question is for both of you. What would you say went right this season, and what would you say went wrong?
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Raegan.
You want right or wrong?
Go ahead.
I think we have a lot of the right pieces, and I know we have the right head coach. I know we have a lot of the right leadership. I believe in the core of the youth that we have and their development. I think, again, the installation of things that matter to sustainable success. It's like standards come before like a status. And there are standards that have been set and are being lived out by this locker room. And I think that has gone really right. Obviously, our offense has gone really well. you've got analytics to prove that all over the place. And you got analytics to show that we got to get better defensively and really spend some time addressing those. That's all, we'll take in all of that data, and with appropriate time and reflection and strategy and partnership, we'll address those issues and we'll come back stronger. But that's, I mean, those are two, I think, low-hanging fruit, things that I'd say that went right, and things that we gotta have opportunities to grow in.
Same.
David.
Hey, it's DJ Infinity TV. Raegan, this question is for you. Talk to us a little bit about being in the GM position and acquiring a generational talent like Kelsey Plum. What kind of ripples does she send in the organization, whether it's community impact, morale inside the locker room? Like, what is her real impact from this season in the organization, and how can we see it build in the future?
Well, Kelsey was and is, I think, one of the best decisions we've made as an organization. We knew bringing her into this org, the standards that she sets for herself, were going to raise the standards within our organization. The expectations that she has equate the expectations that we have. She said one time, like, Azure, what'd you say? Azure can walk around with her hair on fire, she's gonna walk to the hose, I think you said. Like, KP's gonna sprint and get the hose, come back, douse her, and be ready to go and be like, come on, rim run. And like, that's just the intensity in which she does things. But I think also what she takes a lot of pride in that we witness is her adaptability. And she's learning and adapting and self-evaluating and challenging herself in so many areas of her own growth on the floor and her leadership and how she approaches an off-season, how she approaches in-season. It's really special to watch. And, we've got young players and veterans that are learning from her and duplicating some of the things that they're doing and adding it to their game, and that's true leadership, is influence. So we see that. She broke organizational records this year, she broke league records, and again, the data is there to show the impact, but the leadership, I think, is another one of those areas that's huge. But I think you also, when you talk about big talents in this org and impactful talents, you gotta talk about Rakia. You have to talk about De'Erica. There's the blooming joy of watching Ray continue to get better, the excitement of what's coming with Cameron, and Sarah Ashley's probably studied KP more than anybody in our org. So that's exciting. I mean, there's Azure, the impact Azure's had. There's just all boats rise with the tide. Yes, that's how well said.
Speaking of Ray and Rakia, they're coming in right now.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Do you guys have any questions? Yeah, go ahead.
For Raegan, what is the plan, from the front office standpoint that needs to be done this offseason to achieve the goal of, getting over that hump and becoming a playoff team?
I think part of it's not overcorrecting, and I think also it's just continuing to resource Lynne and the rest of the team with the roster they need to make those improvements we need. It's resourcing the team with what they need from a physical standpoint, an emotional standpoint, all of those things that help them become their best self. And that's my job, to partner with her, partner with our ownership, partner with Christine Monger, our president, and self-evaluate, pivot, don't overcorrect. Sometimes as coaches, when you overcoach, you screw everything up. But be honest where you have to get better and do the work to get better. I know that's general, but it's truly the truth right now. Anything else? I know you guys have been.
No. There'll
Okay,
be
got you. All right.
more
Thanks,
opportunities to ask them, but we got to get Rakia and Ray out here. Thanks for understanding.
I just want to say, you guys have been amazing.
Sorry.
Thank you for being consistent and supportive supportive and covering us fairly and honestly.
Absolutely.
You guys have been amazing. Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hi. This season, what parts of your game do you want to focus on in the offseason?
Everything, sharpen every tool in my toolbox.
Hey Raegan, just first of all, do you think you still plan on playing on rival this year? And secondly, it seems like it was a sort of a tougher start to the season for you than it was last year. What sort of allowed you to figure things out and have this sort of finish?
I don't know about a rival yet for sure, but second question, I feel like it was the same as my rookie year, honestly. It was the same toughness, same figuring it out, same adjustments. So to me, it was the same.
Oh, sorry. David?
For Raegan, playing in Coach Roberts' system, in what ways do you think kind of your off-ball movement and off-ball game kind of improved throughout the year?
I feel like the offense forces you to cut, find open lanes, and we have like a pull system, so I feel like it just makes you do it, so your mind just becomes second nature.
DJ?
Hey Raegan, DJ Infinity TV. Quick question, which one of your teammates do you think made you better? Because you've kind of been going off offensively and it takes a little bit of assist to do that. So which one of your teammates has kind of helped you?
I would have to say like Emma and Sanaya, like them two really kept me like sane and this year and just pushing me and being there for me, but also giving me my flowers. Like they just really saw me on a different level and they don't understand like how much they helped me as a player, as a person, but I love them so much. We truly grew a great bond, but them two for sure, like they really, like they don't even understand. They don't even understand.
You improved the most.
I just feel like off cutting, moving the ball a little bit more.
Jack?
Yeah, go ahead. Obviously, we're here for you. You seem to grow in all aspects, not just your game, but also your leadership. I know you said Emma and them really helped you as a player, but it seems like your leadership space is growing as well. What do you think really helped you develop more as a leader?
I feel like just wanting to win. I feel like we won twice as many games as last year, so I mean, I just knew we had a goal and I saw that we were close and able to reach it, so I just, came out my shell a little bit more.
Awesome.
Hey Raegan, I was able to ask Leslie Jones earlier in the season about her relationship that you have with each other, and she said she was so proud of you, and I'm curious from your standpoint how much she was able to help you throughout the
season.
Leslie
Jones, right?
Yes.
Leslie? Oh, okay. Yeah, Leslie, she really spoke life into me when I was going through a hard time in the season, so her just, having that motherly feel and just always being there, being confident, and us showing up no matter if we got 2 wins, 20 wins, like she's just always there. So she's just one of those fans that supporters that you just always, are happy to see. She always brings that good energy.
Thank you.
Justin?
Raegan, since you were here last year as well, how does the end of this season differ for you mentally compared to the end of last season, or the things that you guys were able to put together for stretches this year?
I feel like we're just right there. One game, but I mean, there were other games that we beat ourselves in. So, of course, disappointed, but I feel like we're trending in the right direction, planting that right seed. I feel like next year is really our year, so, everybody just gotta watch out.
Anyone else?
Thank y'all.
All right,
Okay,
thank you.
Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
DJ?
Hey Ray, DJ Infinity TV. Quick question. This year we've been seeing so much of your athleticism that we've been seeing. Can you talk a little bit more? We didn't get the chance to talk to you after you almost dunked that ball that one game. We just want to hear, from the fan experience, what is it like blossoming, coming from that injury a couple years ago, and like now really having your moment to shine and being able to show your athleticism?
Yeah, I mean, even my injury this year, I was out half the season this year, and but this is a completely different team, and I think that we had a great system, and it was a different culture that was really helped towards players like me, where I'm athletic and versatile, and Lynne kind of just lets us play, and she also just instills that confidence into us. So I think I was just able to be me for the most part, and just bring that energy that I know that I come in and bring, and just contribute however that looks for that game.
Thank you.
Cameron, under it.
Hi Ray, you've had some of your best basketball coming into the end of the season. What kind of energy does that give you going into the off season, and how does that affect kind of like the work that you're going to put in now?
Yeah, it definitely feels good just having that momentum going into the off season. Like I said, towards the end of this season, I wish that I was playing at the beginning of the season so that it could have happened maybe a little bit earlier. But it's good for my confidence, and I'm just excited to keep getting to work and fix what I feel like I need to tighten up during the offseason.
Okay.
Ray, seeing you early on in your career and the way that you were coaching and things like that, it seems like with Coach Lynne Roberts here, she was able to truly unlock a lot of your game to where you can show up on the floor and really play with confidence. Just how big of a boost was it for what the job that Coach Roberts did, and what was she able to do to kind of open up the game for you?
Yeah, definitely. Like you said, I mean, she just was able to instill confidence into me. I mean, she was always just telling me to do me, and I felt like I had a little bit more, I wouldn't say freedom, but just the leash was a little bit looser than it has been in the past. And I'm in my 4th year as well, so I'm getting more experience and getting a hand of the game and getting to know teams and just the way that we play and everything. So I think this is just also me settling into the league. I didn't play my rookie season. I was on hardship my 2nd season. Didn't really play the beginning of my 3rd season. Didn't play half of this season. So it's like I've had a lot of ups and downs throughout my journey. So just being able to finally get some stability, I feel like, and having like my coach support me, my team support me, I feel like that really is like what really helped me towards the end of this season, especially.
Ray, you were just talking about how you've had to overcome various challenges throughout your career. Going into the offseason healthy, how do you plan on fortifying your mind to ensure that you're mentally ready and prepared to come back next season?
Yeah, just focusing on what I feel like I need to focus on, setting goals for myself, and whatever those goals may be, just taking it day by day, workout by workout, to be intentional with what I want to work on and what I want to bring to my off season and back to the W season next season. So yeah, just being very intentional with how I am throughout the off season, even just eating and routines and everything as well.
Last question for Ray.
Ray, you've mentioned that you've gone through injuries throughout your career. How does, like in a year like this where you get injured in the beginning, you have to come back halfway through, how does that impact how you personally evaluate your play in a season where you weren't able to show everything you wanted to just because of things outside of your control?
Yeah, I mean, it just is, you can't always control things that happen, and so I feel like even with the injury, I still was able to be really focused and tuned into the team and to what they needed from me, whether I was playing or not playing, and I think that really helped me to stay focused while coming back from my injury, and I think that really helped me even just coming back as well when I started playing, was still being really engaged and still trying to learn any way that I can, contribute to the team any way that I can, whether I was on the court or on the bench, just bringing that energy regardless. But yeah, it just was one of those things where it's a learning experience. Like I say, you can't control an injury, but you can control how you come back from it. And I feel like I really tackled my rehab and really stayed the path of when I was going to come back. And so when I came back, I felt like I was ready, and like we said, like Lynne gave me that confidence as well too. So. Yeah, I feel like I learned a lot throughout all my injuries and trials and tribulations.
Thanks, Ray.
Thank you.
DJ from Infinity TV. This question is for both Julies. You guys have a really successful career together, winning. So can you talk to me about what it's like in just going from that championship team, coming here, and like the sisterhood you've built here in LA?
By quit? No, I'm kidding. I'm not gonna talk.
My best.
Yeah, I mean, Julie and I, we go way back. We've been winning a lot of medals. We also had ups and downs with losing finals and semifinals and all that. Our national team is something very special for us. We had a tough time leaving our teams to get that gold medal this summer, and as you all know, I kind of got punished for it. But it's definitely everything really happens for a reason, and me ending here next to Julie, building that sisterhood, it definitely happened because we weren't that close before. We was good, we was teammates, we loved playing with each other, but we didn't really had a really close bond until here. Like, it literally, I can call her a friend for life. Like, she's in my close circle, and I really love her, and I have her back for life for sure.
Thank you.
Well, she said everything. No, I'm really grateful for the friendship we have right now. Like she said, we love playing with each other, but we were not really friends, like, and now the fact that she came here in LA, like, she changed a lot of things for me. She helped me a lot. I've said that a lot of times, but she helped me outside of the court and on the court. So I'm really glad that she was here. It was a tough season for her, but she was locked in until the end. Like, I know how tough it was. Like, we've been talking a lot. I've been there the whole time, but she stayed focused and she stayed like herself. Like, she was still giving energy the whole time, and so I'm really proud of her because I'm sure that this season is gonna help her a lot for the future. And yeah, it was just I'm just a little bit disappointed that we couldn't be a little bit more on the court together, because like with the national team we play a lot together, and I know how we can play together. Yes. So yeah.
Everybody's scared of the backcourt, Julie and Julie.
So yeah, but I'm really happy that she was here with me.
For Julie B, I realized you came to the Sparks at like a pretty difficult point for you after what happened in Golden State, but it seems like from the second you got here, just the energy changed in this locker room. Just what did you try to bring, and how do you feel like you were able to help sort of spark that turnaround?
I think just my energy, my passion for the game. First of all, I love to love. I lead with love. Like I like people around me. I just always have joy, and I think that helped the team a lot. And yeah, I just was very happy with this opportunity. What I'm forever thankful for that I could come to the Sparks and just bring my light. And I think that my veteran experience for sure helps. But just like, yeah, I think my joy and my energy for sure too.
And my question's for Alamana. What's the WNBA offseason going to look like for you?
Well, I'm going home tomorrow, and in 5 days I'll have to be in Turkey for my next season in Europe. So yeah, it's another season, it's a lot of games, and for me it's still important to play in Europe. I love the way we play over there. So I'm really excited for that too, but first I hope that I can negotiate a little bit more with the Fender and have some days off, because I need it. Like, you know, when you play the whole time and you can never rest, it's not easy. So I really hope that I can enjoy a little bit more at home, hopefully, because I want to be with my family, because when I play in Europe, they're not there with me. So yeah, a lot of games, a new season, so I don't have a lot of time to chill.
Jack.
Hey, Jack Ray TV, this is for both of you. Obviously, you've talked about the love and how you guys enjoy playing together, but is there something, this is for both of you again, something specific that you've learned from each other here in LA?
I think a lot.
A lot. Yeah, a lot. We both opened up to each other a lot. Talked about deepest conversations.
Struggled out a couple of wines.
Yeah. yes, that too. What we needed. I think we just opened up and completely just talked about the struggles, the ups and downs, things we think, things we feel.
What happened in the past too.
What happened in the past, yes. Our failures, our success. I learned from Julie that she's. I don't even can't put it in words, but Julie's been through a lot. I've learned that I knew Julie she went already through a lot, but I learned just to see how she's dealing with everything and the way she handles her injuries, the way she's been having setbacks. She missed a lot of important games, tournaments in her career due to injuries, and seeing her thrive here with the Sparks, showing her capability of leading a team, staying calm in any circumstances. She just never looks stressed, scared. She's always calm. And I think that, I didn't play as much as maybe I wanted to, but I watched Julie lead the team and I learned watching her. I saw so much growth in her and I loved every second of it. And I'm incredibly proud of her and she deserves everything that's happening to her and I think she's gonna get even better.
Her maybe the only thing that I want to add is like I said, like I've learned a lot from her too, because like I said, it wasn't easy for her, but she stayed the same until the end, like as a player and as a human. And I know how tough it is, and so it also showed me a lot, and I learned a lot from that. And outside of the court, that's something else.
Last question here, Justin.
Hi guys, this is for both of you. You guys have talked about your guys' bond together that's been forged over the season, and everyone who's come up here has talked about how great the locker room has been overall as a whole. Is this an organization in the locker room that you guys both would like to return to next season?
I mean, yeah. I mean, for the moment, I don't know. I'm not gonna think about that right now because, like I said, I have a Europe season. But of course, like I'm really grateful to that I was a part of this team. I'm grateful for this opportunity because I know that there's not a lot of players, especially coming from Europe, who can play that much and be a starting point guard. So I know that too, especially for a point guard. So yeah, I've had a lot of fun here, but I also know that I can give a lot more to this team, and I hope that it can also happen, you know, like I'm glad about this season, but I know that I can do a lot more too, and I want to show it too. I just don't want to be satisfied with this and be like, okay, and let's just come back next season and let's do the same. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, same for me, kind of on that end. Like, I know I can. It wasn't the Julie that most people are used to from last year in DC, and then a part of me in Golden State. And I tried everything I had inside of me to bring that energy and to bring that ability to score and pass. And it wasn't easy for me mentally. I'm not gonna lie, but I do hope that there's gonna be opportunity for me to show that. So yeah, definitely, I will come back.
Thank you both.
Thank you.
Thank y'all.
Hi, John W. Davis with the Southern California News Group. Simple question for you. What do you feel like went right this season, and what do you feel like went wrong? Yeah. And then think too, if I can. Thank you.
Yeah, sure. It's hard when you're in it to also be in reflection mode. I think for us, post All-Star, we were where we wanted to be. We just didn't get it together soon enough. And it's tough when you dig yourself a hole in the season. Pretty much every game is super important, and there was a couple of close games at the end that, we could have won, could have gone our way, and, we might be in playoffs right now. But I think looking back, what went right was, obviously offensively, we've been really high level. I think defensively, that's the biggest area of growth in the offseason, individually and collectively. But, from my experience in the league, if you look at the top teams, especially teams defensively, defensive chemistry was a massive part in what you do individually and then also collectively. And, I think the veterans in the league that play the best defense are people that have been in the league, understand principles, understand concepts, and then collectively as a team, they've been able to build on, high experience, playoff games, things like that, right? And so I think for us, just continue to keep that group together and build that chemistry is going to make a difference for us in the future.
That's an easy answer.
I think, looking at this season, I really wanted to impact winning. And so it's tough because it's this, sometimes I don't do a great job giving myself grace. We did win 21 games, different from 8 a season ago. At the same time, as a competitor, I really want to be in the playoffs, right? So I think there's a little bit of a internal battle there that I'll have time on the season to reflect. And again, for me, I don't take a ton of part into individual accolades or statistics. I think really impacting winning at a high level is the difference between great players and good players in our league. And so, yeah, I mean, I don't know if you're asking, I'm not surprised in terms of statistically this year. I think actually next year we'll be a lot better, even more efficient individually and also collectively. And, I think my biggest growth in the offseason just be leadership. And never been the head of the snake before, so I've learned a lot. I think I have a lot of areas to grow in that area, and that's probably gonna be my biggest focus moving forward.
Dearica, thinking about last season and this season, obviously big difference in results, but can you talk a little bit about the energy in the building and how it's changed from last year to this year with the addition of Kelsey, but also just sort of like the community in LA and the fans and all that good stuff?
Yeah, I mean, Kelsey mentioned that I think we had the 4th highest attendance, and even last year I think we're pretty much up there, but definitely feel like the crowd this year is way more motivated and involved. They see what we're doing and what we're trying to build here, and they're on board. So we're just grateful. Crypto's so big, so at times you kind of lose sight of the amount of people that are in there, but it's an amazing atmosphere.
David. For Dearica, I mean, kind of building off that a little bit, Coach has talked all season about how this is a build and whatnot. I mean, you're now one of the longest tenured players here. Just what have you seen this season in terms of, building that culture that you've been talking about?
Yeah, I mean, you have to break it down and build it back up, and I think for me, I just, she thinks I'm crying.
Sounds like it.
I mean, it's hot, right?
I just like my optimism and perspective of things is I'd rather have a slow burn than like a quick fix, and then it just not like be the same. So we were talking about long term and wanting to build something for the years to come with the core that we have and the young players and like going forward. I'm not like happy that we're not in the playoffs, but I'm very like optimistic about where we are in the second half of the season, and we still can get so much better, which is crazy.
Hey, DJ from Infinity TV, I'm gonna build a little bit on. We're drastically different. Take me through the mental fortitude. You usually say never too high, never too low.
Yeah.
But you're literally like right where you said you knew you would be. So like, how do you mentally go into finish this season and go into the next season?
I'm gonna take my time this whole season. I always do. I focus on like what's most important to me, and that's my kids and my day-to-day life, and get back at it. I'll set another vision board. The goals I had on there this year, obviously I had us as a top 14, which the second half of the season we finished. So just and like I said, it's like a long-term thing. So those goals will be reached. I'll put the same goals back on there, individually and as a team. And I do believe in power of the tongue, and I think we're gonna get there. I know we're gonna get there.
Edwin, and then Sabrina.
My question's for Kelsey. Last year you were supposed to play in Unrivaled, but ultimately didn't play. Will you be playing in that league this upcoming season?
Break some news here, Kelsey.
I can't say yet, so DVD.
Yeah.
Sabrina.
For either of you, both of you have talked so much about how much you believe in what's happening here. I guess as the leaders of the team in that final locker room, or even after you guys play Phoenix, I guess what is the message you're trying to send the rest of your team into the offseason with?
It's funny. Maybe like 2 weeks ago, I was calling Dee. I was having a moment. I was just frustrated, like I want to win. She was like, hey, I won 8 games last year, so this looks different to me. So I think perspective is key. And, we have a lot of youth. The biggest thing I think is just this offseason is unprecedented. I've been messing that word up all day. Unprecedented. Yes, I'm not gonna even try. For everyone in this league, right? And the league's getting better and better, more talented, more physical, more dynamic, and players have an opportunity this offseason to transform themselves. And that's not just on the Sparks, that's every player in the W, right? Especially players that are not under rookie contract. So, I think the message is take that chip and that hunger, and our league's a little bit unique because we have a longer offseason. Even though people play in other leagues, we have a longer offseason for the W. You can really transform your game. If you decide to go to work, you can transform your game. And so, we're looking forward to having some of that talent be transformed in the offseason and come back different individually as our roster, but also collectively.
I mean, Kelsey and I's friendship obviously goes way back, and I don't think we knew that this moment would be here. But prior to my time, like we were in Vegas, we always just talked about
being together, staying together at whatever we do. And obviously at the time it was in Vegas, and so when things happened, and that happened a year ago now, we kind of like locked eyes and was like, we're gonna do it. And you know, in the off season, I just talked about how much we needed a lead guard, somebody to help me like to carry this. And she's the perfect person. I've since day one wanted her here, and just grateful to have her here. I feel like I've contributed in different ways, but she's taken this franchise to another level and being very adamant about what we deserve, what it should look like, and obviously her work ethic. And we're just really grateful that she took a leap of faith essentially and trusted me and trusted Raegan and what we're building here. So.
Thanks to Eric and Kelsey.
Oh, that's it?
You
waited all that time for that?
You spoke about utilizing the offseason to grow as a leader. How do you plan on utilizing this offseason to give yourself grace?
Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, taking time to step back and get a different perspective, reflect, see my family, travel, walk my dog. I think just being able to step back and, okay, what went, kind of earlier the question, what went right, and then what could be better. And, you know, it's tough, it's this fine line, because one of the reasons that I've been successful is because I am hard on myself, right? And I try to take with a grain of salt, evaluate myself and what I can do better, but at the same time, I felt like especially post All-Star, I tried to do everything I could, leadership-wise, and then on the play side as well. So, you know, I'll try to evaluate, and all I know though is that for me and Dee, we talked about it, like, just the vision is there, and you know, I'm not playing games. Like I'm here to win, and I'm gonna do everything I can. And so that grace, I think, is a little bit. I'm gonna try to find it. I promise.
We're gonna move to the next page.
This is actually for you. KP has said she struggles to give herself grace. Obviously, your relationship is pretty tight. When you see she's not giving herself grace, how do you kind of step in and kind of calm that storm a little bit?
At first, I just let her kind of rock out, and just absorb it a little bit. But I think just to continue to remind her bigger picture and just perspective, and to just like breathe and not even try to think about basketball in some moments. So. I'm going to constantly in her ear when she calls and vents and says things, and I'm just going to keep being me and just loving on her and telling her to relax.
Yeah. Does it work?
Initially.
I've gotten better.
Yeah, she's gotten better. I will say, you know, I see her trying, and it's translating, and she probably doesn't know I can realize this about her, but I see her like putting in the effort to self-correct, and if something is said to her, you know, she takes it, and then she puts it forth in action. So.
Thanks again. Really appreciate it.
Out of basketball, because basketball models, you know, the world, right? Outside of basketball, can you just give a message to people who might be thinking about taking a leap of faith? Because, you know, this was a big risk for you. We saw you play really good in Vegas. You came here. Wasn't the outcome that you wanted, but there are a lot of positive things that happened. So can you just speak to the audience, the people, the fans who are watching, who might be looking to take a leap of faith in some way in their life?
I appreciate that question. I love that question. Then we get one life. Come on, Josh, you're gonna cut this off. We get one life, and like, you know, I believe in God. I believe God puts desires in our hearts to do things, and you know, we gotta jump. And you know, it's so funny. It's like, you think about it. Why would you not bet on yourself?
Yeah.
You know, what are you gonna have to lose? And along the way, like the character you develop, the relationships you form, the experiences that you have, like that's living. I want to live, you know, and like, yeah, if you want to be great or do something great in this life, you kind of have to be crazy.
Yeah.
And like, I'm cool with it. So and I appreciate that question. So anyone that's, you know, watching, whatever it is, whether that's your career, your personal life, relationship, like, I never think I regret jumping and like really betting on who I am and doing it with the people that you love, because at the end of the day, like, That's what life's about, right?
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
And you just kind of cared about how the season went. So knowing how the season ended, how would you kind of rate your personal experience and how the team performed as a whole?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was a great year for me. I think everyone can see that. I was healthy, which was really different than most of my career. So, I mean, that was a plus for me, and I think everybody got to see what I can do when I'm healthy. As for the team, obviously, like, we wanted to make playoffs, so it's a disappointment that we didn't, but I mean, I said in the locker room, like, compared to last year, it was a complete difference. The energy, the wins, I mean, the system, just everything was a win, I think, personally, and as a team, for all of us. Just going through what we went through last year, it was refreshing to have Lynne come in here, and obviously you never know with a new coach how it's going to pan out, but I mean, she did an amazing job, honestly, for her first year, and us adding KP and others, like, it was just a great season for us, and a good foundation block for moving forward. So it's bittersweet because we wanted to make playoffs and we were that close, but I think we have so many positives that we can draw from this and just keep building on that.
Let's go back to Zoom, Andrew Jones.
Hey Joshua, as always, first for you, AZ23. What was the high mark of the season for you? Was it the double overtime win over Seattle, that dramatic victory over the Liberty in New York? What for you was the high mark of the season for you? And for Alyssa, you being around Nazaré for the first time here, what was your joys of being around Nazaré? So for you first, AZ.
You named the good ones. I think the Indiana win on the road was really huge too. The Seattle game was a thriller. We pulled that out. New York. There's so many games we can pick from, but those three in particular I think were really huge games. And even KP's buzzer beater against Dallas was a huge win too. So I think we had some games that were really exciting finishes and showed our growth throughout the year.
For the short amount of time I've been in LA, I think just seeing the way Z approaches every day, the way she's a great teammate, and it's just very humble. Like, she just does what's asked and she does what's necessary for the team, and like, in my opinion, is very underrated. And just what she's been for this team, like even when I was in Minnesota and watching from afar, like, just what she's been for the LA Sparks has been very impactful and a big part of the reason why there was so much success this season.
Jackie, and then on more.
Hey, Azrae, Jackie TV. This one's for you. Raegan, at the top of the season, said she really put an emphasis on player experience and making sure you guys had everything you needed. You've been here for a little bit. Can you kind of talk about the difference between the player experience this season and seasons past?
Yeah, I mean, we got our own facility in a sense, so that was a huge step up from last year. And then just little things, food was provided for us, just different things that we gave feedback on from last year. But I think the facility was a huge thing. It's not entirely our own, but just to be able to have our own kind of private space was huge, and it's going in the right direction. I think a lot of teams are taking notice of that's like really important. So that was one of the biggest things that was a change from last year.
For Alyssa, I mean, what's it mean to hear all the fans, being a fan favorite here at Crypto? Obviously, you had a short time in LA, USC. What would it mean to be here in LA, and what did it mean to get more opportunities in this building?
I mean, it always gives me chills whenever I hear the crowd go crazy. And I mean, like, I really wouldn't be where I am today without all the support from everybody, so it's really appreciated. And yeah, like, I'm very grateful that I got this opportunity to be here with this team and to finish out the season with an amazing team. And yeah, I'm grateful for all of it.
Justin, on your right.
Azrae, you've mentioned about the buy-in with Lynne's offense and her as a coach. She's mentioned that you guys, all bought in to everything she brought to you. What made you guys buy into the message that she was giving you?
I mean, she's a proven coach. She was successful at Utah, and
you know, when a new coach is coming in, you have a choice to like just go against it for no reason or just give it a shot. And I think she came in just humble, you know, like this is what I'm trying to do, very collaborative. She wasn't just like, this is my way or the highway, like she's very open to suggestions. And I think her humility showing that, being a first year coach, you know, resonated with all of us. Like, okay, she's not just trying to come in and just run like a dictatorship, like she's trying to collab and really, you know, make this thing successful. So I think when you have a coach like that, it's really easy to play for them and want to work with them. And I think throughout the year, when we saw different things, you know, like I said, it was a collaborative effort on like, okay, how can we get better here? How can we get better there? So, and it works. I mean, our offense was popping. Like, our defense, maybe not so much, but I mean, we hit 100 a few times. Like, we were able to score. So, I think as the season went on and we saw that, it was really easy to buy into it. But like I said, like I think just her approach coming in with her humility was just spoke to all of us.
Sabrina.
For Alyssa, you obviously have a relationship with Lynne dating back to Utah. I'm wondering, like, having this experience now, getting to work with her in the pros, how have you seen her adjust to this level of coaching, or like, if at all?
I mean, she does it. She makes it look so effortless. I feel like she's at the end of the day like a really good person, and she just wants what's best for the team. She wants everybody to be bought into putting winning first and like a good culture, and I mean it's a whole different ballgame than college, and like I've experienced it as a player, so I could only imagine as a coach, a head coach. So, I mean, just the way she's handled everything with just grace and understanding and being willing to, like Z said, like she's not somebody who's gonna be like, all right, like come in and you gotta do it this way, this way, this way, or like you're out of here, like I'm not here. Like she is someone who's gonna listen to you. She's gonna listen to her players, and I think that's just what makes her special, and it makes just the team aspect so just attractive, like to want to actually like buy into something. It was the same thing when I was at Utah. So like she's come into a whole different environment, not changing who she is and just kind of letting it come to her. And yeah, obviously there's things that you got to adjust to, but at the end of the day, I feel like she's just herself, and that's more than enough from what I've seen.
Hey, Raegan, we just heard from Raegan. She talked about the importance of pretty much having their own space this year.
Yeah.
You know, not their own facility, but just a place that they can kind of have that freedom and get in the work that they need to. How important does this organization see that as something that's for the team, and is there something like being discussed or being done to possibly acquire the team's own practice facility?
Yes, well, when the season ended last year, being able to spend time and really, it started before the end of the season, and just building trust with the players that they'll give you honest feedback, and what are the macro level things that need to be better for them to be their best self, and what are the micro. And she referenced some of the micro things, but also getting into JR 286 this year, where they were a great partner for us. Many of you have been there this year. There's a lot of places in this league, people in this league, that I think would love to have that as their practice facility with the recovery and the nutrition, all of that. But there's big, huge news coming imminently for you all. And, so just you've been patient, but just stay a tiny bit more patient. It's a moment that deserves its own moment.
Yeah.
And so we want to make sure we do it right. So I understand the question, but I'm excited for that day and all the fun questions that'll come from that. Yeah.
For Raegan,
yeah.
I guess how would you assess your role in putting this roster together this season, and what have you learned just in terms of the types of players you want to put together, coming into next year?
Yeah, I mean, I think because I've been a coach, a head coach, And also, you know, look, when I came into this role, I had spent some time with some other NBA GMs and WNBA GMs, just trying to learn and study, and I continue to get and seek mentorship in that way. But one of the biggest things they told me was don't run from the fact that you're rooted in being a coach. And don't ever forget what it's like being the coach. And there's moments that, like, yeah, it's really hard to remember that, but I've tried to lead in partnering with her in what this roster needs to look like, knowing what her system needs. And it's not just about what I need. If I bring a player to her that she's not bought into, the player will figure that out and they won't be their best self. It'll show in the micro actions, all of that. And so it's been great because there has been so much alignment from the very beginning in how she sees the game, how she sees a locker room culture. I just trust her so much, and because the players also trust her. So it's not been just me, it's been a partnership. And then you guys heard from KP and De'Erica, like it's a partnership with them as well. I know, she knows, when we've recruited, your best recruiters are your players. And I think there's things that are different between college and pro, absolutely, respectfully, yes. But one thing that's not different is players sniff each other out fast. They know, there are no secrets between them, and we utilize them as a great resource tool, and not just like what are the skill sets people bring in, but what type of people are they? What type of teammates are they? Emma Cannon, have you guys talked with Emma Cannon?
She's next.
She's next. Emma.
Amazing human.
Like, she's as important to this team and what we're doing and what we've been doing as anybody. And we don't know that without the feedback from De'Erica and KP and Danielle Robinson, who had experience with her. So we are because they are, is what I'm trying to say.
Justin.
Lynn, I don't know if you heard Azrae talking about you. She basically mentioned your humility allows you to connect with the players and got them to buy in. When you hear players under you talk about you like this, where you were able to secure buy-in based on that, like, what does that mean to you? And do you think that that is something that can propel you guys forward in terms of building relationships with players coming in?
No, I didn't hear that. That's nice. But yeah, I don't coach, you know, for the ink for myself. I love challenging players and seeing somebody go from one place to the next and being, you know, a support and something along the way. Like, that's why I do what I do. And I'm also competitive as hell, but it's the relationships with the players. And yeah, I think, you know, again, that's humbling to hear, you know, it is. And I don't ever want this to be about me. I just get to, you know, call timeouts and make decisions like that, but it's about the players from now until I hang up the whistle.
Raegan, I know you want to talk about that permanent practice facility at another time, but you know, I hear soon, and I just don't know, is soon in the next couple of weeks? Is it maybe something in 2026? Can you kind of timeline for when soon might be?
Let me Google, what is soon? Definition of soon.
Forthcoming future.
Soon definition. No, I'm just kidding. But it's very soon.
now I can add the very. So thank you.
Add very soon. Quote me on it. Yeah. Like I said, it's a big moment that deserves its own moment. We want to do it justice.
You won't have to wait long.
No.
Hint, winky, winky.
Go ahead. For Coach, I remember asking you back at the beginning of the season about, you know, balancing winning and development, knowing that you had, you know, some young players that needed those reps, you know, and how they may make mistakes and whatnot. With three in particular, I think Sanaya, S.A., and Alyssa, what kind of went into, I guess, you know, being able to prioritize winning, as you said, but allowing them to kind of get those reps and the experience that they need for their development.
Yeah, and that part's hard in this league because it's really hard to make a team, and then it's even harder to get in the rotation, especially as a young player. So in complete candor, I think I can do a better job with that. But we're doing a lot of stuff when out of practice time, or if we have an off day, get in the gym with those guys, film, all those type of things, so that they're ready to go. Like I thought Essay was really good tonight, and she's been out of the rotation. Just kind of, she went from starting because of injuries to not playing to back in the rotation to tonight playing 38 minutes. I think just keeping them ready is the key, and it's challenging when it's game travel. Like there's not a lot of time, and that's why I say like I need to work on that and how to be better at that. But those guys all have a future in this league.
Hey, Coach DJ. Quoting Azare, who just left here, she said the offense this year was popping, but the defense not so much sometimes. Is that something that you can coach? Like, how do you fix that over the off season, or is that a personnel thing?
Oh, I think it's all of the above.
Okay.
Right? And yes, I can coach defense, believe it or not. But we had to, kind of prioritize and all the things. And I think part of being a great defensive team is, how do I say this? I think, yes, part of it is roster, right? Who you have and, who you have. That doesn't, but if you don't have a super athletic, aggressive team, that doesn't mean you can't play good defense. You've got to have an identity of what it is, right? But I also think it's really hard, I will be honest, like coming in, my priority was the culture and winning as much as we could, but do it in the way we want to play, right? So it's hard, I wanted what's the saying, like, they don't care what you know until they know you care, right? So getting that buy-in before you can, defense it's accountability driven, right? Like if you're not gonna get up and do this, then you're coming out. It's hard to win a locker room over and be an asshole, right? So, excuse my language, but so I wanted to kind of get them on board and get them bought in, and so then next year there can be more accountability, there can be more, and I can do a better job. But yeah, we'll be better defensively. Mark that down.
Yes.
This question is for both of you. Growth is oftentimes painful, and pain oftentimes is the best teacher. When you reflect over the course of this year, how can you utilize the pain, the obstacles, the challenges that this year presented to help you in your role moving forward?
I think we are driven humans. Coaches are crazy people by nature. Well-intending, but a little bit crazy. And so everything, I have a list a mile long on my phone of things I want to do this off-season to be better. You can look back at the season and there's pain in some of the losses we had. We wouldn't be having this postseason thing if we had been a little better in June. Won a couple games more. That's painful, right? And so, how do I tighten the screws so that in May and June we don't drop games we shouldn't? Like, those are the lessons you learn, and the players, we talked about it. After we beat Phoenix and we heard that Seattle won, it's like those games do matter. Those moments do matter. So just, you learn. Unfortunately, you learn more from failing, right? Or coming up short. That's life. And so you gotta accept that, learn from it, and move on.
Let's go to Andrew Jones on Zoom.
Thanks as always. I wanted to know first, who gave the halftime speech with you between these two press conference moments of the exit interview before you came back into the second part of this exit interview? I would say who gave the halftime speech, you or Raegan?
Oh, yeah. We were like just bumping out there and like firing each other up.
Ice bath. I need an ice bath.
Yeah, so we're ready now.
Lynne, just want to ask you, with the energy that Raegan brings, that positivity that she brings, how very candid and funny she is, what was your favorite moment this season with Raegan in terms of just interacting with her and all that? And Raegan, what was your favorite Lynne moment in terms of her quotes? Because she definitely has a lot of great philosophical quotes. So for you, Lynne, for you first.
Yeah, so my birthday was August 28th, and we had film in the morning. And so, I was all prepped with film and everything. The team is in the film room, and so I was like, all right, guys, thing. And Raegan's like, I'm sorry, just, I need to talk to you guys first. And I'm kind of like, normally if she's going to talk, she's like, hey, let me give me a few minutes. And so then she starts hammering the team about being on time and act like a pro. And I'm kind of like, okay, we have a big game tomorrow. Maybe give us a good time. And then Emma Cannon, who's the best teammate in the planet, she's like, you know what, Raegan, that's not fair. Starts, and then Rakia's jumping in, and then they stand up like they're about to fight.
Rakia threw a water bottle.
And she was like, I went like this, like, oh God.
And then Rakia threw it at Ray, and she's like, we want to talk about late, Ray. Ray, you're always late. Like, why are you
so there was
bringing
like
me
this
into it?
fight. So then Emma and Rakia left like they were gonna fight. This is all on me. Then they come in with balloons and flowers, and I about died. So they got me really good, and that was the genesis came from Raegan.
And the only people that knew about it were me, Rakia,
They got me good. And the rest of the team too.
Emma. KP was like, whoa. De'Erica was crying. It was too real.
It was
Sorry.
good. It was good.
It was fun. No joke.
Yeah, that was the best moment.
My favorite, Lynne. Lynne has like funny ways of saying things all the time. Just little like cliche phrases, but I don't know. She brings humor. There's too many to.
I think we all have our own favorites.
Yeah, we have so many.
There's like,
call them like Lynne Proverbs.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of like that Montana State or Montana football coach. You guys look him up on Instagram. She's got some good ones. I'm looking forward to an off season really with her from like the get. And we have to travel a lot of places. We were in Turkey last year. Oh, Turkey's bad. We had some fun moments. Yeah.
Thanks, she said, appreciate you.
And thank you for what you're staying on with us. So thank you. I know it's late for you.
Jackie, and then we'll finish it on Mark.
So that was actually a great segue because you both have talked about building culture. Obviously from this side we can see that it's a lot different because we've been here for a while, so it's definitely a different culture. But when you kind of look back on where you started and the culture that's developed where you can have these scary moments and then balloons come in the room, how does that make you feel to say, yes, we not only achieved it, but the ceiling is still so very high for us?
They hear from me all the time. They need to hear from me.
I'm not sure exactly the question. So, what gives us confidence?
No, not
Sorry.
confidence per se, but you can look at this and you can say the culture that we wanted to build, we definitely succeeded in doing that, but you still have a very high ceiling. So just reflect on that as you continue to grow.
Well, I think KP said it in her presser. She's mentioned it before. We're very, very driven, competitive people. So perspective hasn't totally sunk in yet, but we've got a lot of experience and and that is something I'm really impressed with Lynne, is that her ability to gain perspective quickly, and just her maturity and experience, and that really shines through. But so we're not all the way there yet, because what we're doing right now is seeing all the things that we have to be better at. And it's like, this wasn't good enough, and this wasn't good enough. And because I think we've seen it from our players, so driven, so competitive, and hold ourselves to such a high standard, like, I'll just say this, we're not in playoffs, we lost that game, and I have a feeling KP's walking around like, damn, came here to do this for them. It's my fault. I should have done this, I should have done that. She was hired to help us get there, and I have a feeling she's walking around like, damn it, I failed them. I gotta be better at this, this, and this. I'm walking around feeling like, man, I gotta be better. I should have done this, 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 and De'Erica. Like, if you go down the list, everyone thinks it's their fault. And like, mature, experienced people that can gain perspective do hold on to that self-accountability, but also start to move things into its right place. And it's like, okay, this is ours, and this is mine, and this is her space to grow in, and how can I support it all? So right now, we know through our maturity, the culture's in a good place, but we can't, that's a daily thing, you can't have a rest on it. But we also just see so many things that happen, and we want to get better. And we will. We're very committed to doing that. And grateful that it's not just on one of our shoulders, it's both of ours, it's our ownership, it's our business ops, it's our medical staff, it's our players, like so many people are willing to get into the trenches with us.
And for Raegan, with such a positive second half of the season and the buy-in from the roster, is this a team as constructed that you want to run it back? And will it be tough to run it back with this team?
Yeah, I think, again, it's always tough to run it back. I mean, I'm looking at that right there. Like, success is really hard to sustain. And momentum's really hard to hold on to. And we do have positive momentum from the second half. And I do think, again, like, Julie Allemont was significant to that growth. We had, she was coming off of injury and Eurobasket and all of that. And so we'll do everything we can to make sure the right pieces stay, and maybe it's like putting people in a different spot, but also addressing some needs that we have. And this is gonna be such a wild, one of the most transformational, hold on, buckle up, Buttercup, off seasons for the entire league. And I'm here for it.
You say yes, we can't wait.
Yeah, we're here for it. And this as an organization has been preparing for this off season for years, and we're ready for it.
We'll go to Jennifer on Zoom and then finish with the guys.
Jennifer Porty from Let's Talk Women in Basketball. My question is for both of you. What advice would you give to future LA sports draftees about succeeding with this organization?
It's a great question.
Yeah.
I mean, from my chair, it would be, we over me. You gotta buy into your own success will come when you buy into it being about the group succeeding. It's basketball karma. It's just how it works. You make it not about yourself, and it always happens to, you get the sunshine on you. So, and then, I think work ethic. If you get drafted into this league, you're good enough, right? So if you're making a team, you're good enough, but you've got to want to be great. And the one thing that I don't tolerate very well is apathy or lack of work ethic. If you want something, then earn it. And I think those are the two things. It's we over me. I used to have a saying in college, it's all in or you're in the way. And that's kind of what I'm looking for with who we got.
Yeah, great.
Just a quick one from me for the coach. From a scheme perspective, was there any sort of trend that stood out this year that may influence how you approach next season?
That's a good question too. Trend in terms of like with the league or with our team, or what do you mean?
Just league-wide.
I mean, we've hammered it. We've got to be better defensively. The teams that don't turn it over tend to win more games. The teams that can get, key stops. I mean, there's a lot, and that's a great question that I wish I had a better answer for right now. I need to think on that. Yeah, health matters. But some of that is just you can't anticipate that or plan for that. I'm gonna call you at 3 in the morning when I find a better answer.
Thank you so
All
much.
right, thank you guys again.
Speaking of
Hey, DJ from Vanity TV. This question is going to be for two rookies. So you know, at the end of freshman year of high school, you get everybody to sign your yearbook, and you have a little message, right? So what would you want signed in your yearbook after your first year here with the Sparks?
I'll probably say that I want signed. I'll probably say my shoes, but the white shoes that I wore didn't for the season because everyone hated them because I wore them out. So I'll probably get those signed.
Okay.
You want your shoes signed?
Yeah.
I like that. That's a good one. In my yearbook, honestly, I'd probably want like a signature from like everybody that was a part of the organization, just because everyone fed into just like me as a person, me as a player on the floor. Like this team, the people around the team, the organization itself, like it means a lot. Coming in as a rookie, it's hard. I think Sanaya can agree with that for sure. And so I'm very blessed that I got to start here.
Thank you.
Emma, this is for you. We saw some signs tonight, and you've seen your celebrations all season long on the bench. I wonder if you could talk a little about your role. Raegan and Lynne just finished waxing poetic about you and what you've done for this team in terms of leadership. So I'm wondering if you could just reflect a little bit on kind of what it's been like to be on this young team this year and what kind of you feel like you've provided in the locker room.
Oh man, they crazy. I feel like it's been great. It's funny because in the beginning of the season or before that, when I had a conversation with Lynne and Raegan and Joshua, it was a moment in the conversation where I said that I've been bounced around a lot and I just want to find a family. And I feel like here I was able to do that. There's not one single person on this team that I'm not able to just go up to and have a conversation with or go eat with, or I'm able to, okay, I won't say give my kids to. But I do feel comfortable with in all aspects. So this was an amazing year. I know we had a lot of ups and downs, but I'm grateful to be a part of something that's going to be bigger in the future.
But who's not babysitting?
Ray. Rakia. I gave my baby Sway to Rakia the other day. She was asking me if she was doing it right. I said, oh Lord. You can't babysit him, but yeah.
John W. Davis with the Southern California News Group. Emma, this question is for you. Being that, like you said, you bounced around, you've seen a lot of basketball, you've played a lot of basketball. With that said, what do you feel like went right this season with the Sparks, and then what do you feel like went wrong?
I wouldn't dwell on anything that went wrong because everything is a lesson. So I feel like there was a lot of lessons and there was a lot of things that we were able to learn from and grow from. And then I feel like it started to click at the right moment. It sucks that we weren't able to make it to playoffs, but I do feel like we built a foundation that we can build on for next year.
Thank you.
Going back to Zoom, Andrew and then Jennifer.
Thanks again, Emma. Both Raegan and the coach shared the funny story when it was Lynne's birthday in terms of I definitely had Lynne feeling the full nerves before the wonderful birthday that you gave me. Talk about that whole fun experience and just that, this season in the locker room with these great personalities that you've been with this season.
That probably has to be the highlight of the season. And it's not just Lynne. De'Erica cried. She was like, what's going on? So like that was a good one. I think we did a really good job with that. And nobody expected it because I'm not that type of person to act like that. So it was great. But the locker room itself, like when you have a great group of women in the same room and feelings are feelings and everybody's human and they're allowed to have those. But when you're able to express your feelings and get past it, I knew that we had a special group. So when with the locker room and whatnot, I feel like I said, we have a great group of amazing women, and I'm just happy and excited to see what the future holds.
Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
Jennifer.
Jennifer Porty from Let's Talk Women in Basketball. My question is for all three of you. What's something you learned from a teammate this season that you'll carry with you throughout your career? And also, based on your experience, what advice would you give to future LA Sparks draftees about succeeding with this organization?
First, definitely the one next to me, Emma. She's definitely taught me, how to be a good teammate in adversity, how to be a good teammate even when you're not playing. You still bring the energy when you're on the bench because you're a team for a reason, and it's not just the 5 on the court. The energy on the bench matters too, because when they're coming off the floor, like we've got to show them like we've got their back and we're here for them. And so definitely being able to learn from her and just the leadership that she brings, no matter what position or role she's put in. That's something that's been amazing just to learn from, and I appreciate her and appreciate just everything she's done for me this year. And then what was the follow-up question? Was about the organization?
What advice would you give to future LA Sparks draftees about the future of the team and succeeding with this team?
Yeah, I think that we, this year definitely laying the foundation of what's to come. Come in and work hard every single day. You're going to have an opportunity, and just be a good teammate, because at the end of the day, that's what it's about.
Go ahead. I've been talking. Your turn.
I'll probably say from all my vets, they told me no matter what, when you go out there, be who you are, because you make the team for a reason and for what you stand for. And I'll say it's for the Sparks, the ones that get drafted. Just trust your process, because everybody's process is different. If you made it this far, you're here for a reason, and go be great every time a number is called.
I would say just showing up every day, regardless of how you feel or what's going on in your life. You have to understand that a team is a team, and that regardless of what's going on, you just have to be able to show up and have a positive attitude. And then for the people that are coming up, if one door closes, another one opens. I feel like always hard work outworks talent. So just always stay in the gym and stay ready.
Thank you.
First, and I had to say, I realize you guys have played basketball now for like 12 months straight, but what is it that you want to work on in the offseason, having gone through this experience with the NBA? And then if I could ask a follow-up on just the player with you on the bench a lot of times is Julie and Lou, and I'm wondering, like, I know she wasn't here the whole season, but what did she sort of mean to your vibe in the locker room and just being part of this team?
I'm sorry, what was the first question though?
Just what do you want to work on in the offseason specifically?
I would say something that I want to work on in the offseason is just getting better as an individual, period. Like, just being myself, but also like grinding out and being ready for next year. And I would say I love Lou. When Lou, she's literally like, I love her. So it's like her personality was great. She felt like she was here from the beginning. I felt like she was a great fit.
What I want to work on, I'll probably just piggyback on her, just kind of everything overall, just kind of look back on the season and really dig deep into it. And then obviously I think a lot of athletes don't realize how important the mental game is, and so definitely just work on my mental, just being able to move on from certain mistakes and that kind of stuff better and quicker, definitely. And then, yeah, Van Loo, she's awesome. Love that girl. The second that she came in, she just brought a type of energy of love, and she just had the biggest smile on her face. She works really hard, and it was a joy for me to work out with her all the time and just have that experience with her.
Justin.
As a coach was up here far earlier talking about how you were starting in the beginning of the year and kind of DNP for much of the middle of it, and then back in the rotation towards the end. What, going through that, like that process, what does that do to you as a player mentally to kind of go through that? And then how did you kind of come out the other side to become a productive role player towards the end of the season?
Yeah, I think obviously like just because you're not playing as much or anything like that, that doesn't mean that you stop working, because I got to where I was because of how hard I worked and the people around me and people pushing me, and that's what I was going to hold that to and keep continuing to do that, have people continuing to push me, have people continuing to have confidence and that trust in me, like this organization did and like my teammates did. And so I think in those moments you're grateful, because it's not about, oh, I'm not getting to play, I'm not doing this. It's what am I learning outside of the things that I am getting to be. I'm learning how to sit on the bench and be a good teammate. I'm learning how I can see the floor and see my teammates that are playing, how they see things on the floor and how they're playing. So just the opportunity, you've got to change your mindset is, hey, what am I learning in this season of life? What am I learning to get better? Because just because maybe you're not playing as much, that doesn't mean that you're not learning, and that doesn't mean that you can't grow and get better. So just being able to do that every single day.
Emma, you've had your coach and your GM and people have come up here and raved about you as a team leader in the locker room. First off, what does that mean to you to hear that? And kind of, is this one of the closest locker rooms you've been in?
I would say yeah. Out of all the teams that I've played with, this has been one of the teams that I feel like I am closest to, and that means I'm talking about every single person. And it's an amazing feeling to see or feel seen. I don't do it for that. I appreciate it, but I literally show up the same way every day. And my father always taught me to treat everybody how you want to be treated, and to also, I mean, you treat the janitor just like you treat the CEO. And that's something I live by, that's something I would teach my kids, and that's something that I preach, and I hope that they see as well. So, yeah, I don't do it for that, but I appreciate it.
Questions for Sanaya. Looks like there was some banter with you and Asia a couple times there in this game today. How fun was it kind of going against one of your South Carolina players?
I actually really enjoyed it. Really great experience. I wanted to get it so bad. I wanted it. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. I mean, it's a great experience to be able to play against her and everything she do for South Carolina. So it was amazing to play against her.
Jackie, and then we'll go to Rashawn.
I say this is for you. Early in the season, we talked about how you said you were getting inside your own head a little bit, but it seems like you've kind of gotten out of that, and Coach says you watch KP like a hawk. So what has been your biggest growth spurt just on your own and from watching KP?
Yeah, I think it's just, you know, understanding that, yes, this is my job, yes, this is what I'm getting paid to do now, but at the end of the day, like, just have fun and smile. I think that's something that KP always tried to tell me, and always tried to look at me and be like, hey, just smile on the floor, like, give me a smile, like, you know? And so I'm very grateful for that, and just having, you know, a vet, you know, hold me to the standard and just push me every single day. You know, KP is someone who was a fierce competitor. I mean, all she wants is to win. She wants everybody to succeed. And so I definitely look up to her work ethic. I look up to who she is as a person. But yeah.
Last few, Rashawn.
For SA, do you have plans for this offseason in terms of like where you'll play? And then for Emma, can you give me your depiction of your Emmy or Academy Award winning performance on Coach's birthday when you had this big fight?
Oh Lord, I can't say everything.
Can't put me out there like that, man.
Yeah, I'll be going to play in Athletes Unlimited in January. I just signed that, and so I'm excited about that. My former teammate Lynne and I is playing in that too, so that'll be a lot of fun to be there with her. And then obviously just take some time to rest, and then just get back to work. So that's what it's all about.
This is for Emma. You played not only all over W, but all over the world. You're a vet, you're a role player. This is going to be a pretty big offseason for players and their relationship to the league as a whole. What is, in your experience in the WNBA, the most important thing the WNBA can do to accommodate players?
Of course, for one, pay more. that's the number one thing at this moment. But also, I feel like we need to be heard. There's a lot of things outside of money that we want and we need, and I feel like this is a time that we want to put our foot down and demand it, and hopefully we get it. So yeah, that's something that needs to happen, and I hope we come to an agreement soon. Thank you.
Thanks, Sanaya, Emma, and Sarah Ashley.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks so much for covering us all year.
Thank you all.
Thank you, Josh.
Thank you.
Our butterfly.
Yeah.
So Cameron Brink is going to do